The IPRA of Victoria Championship is proudly brought to you by Yokohama Motorsport, DLL Photography and Design, New Line Homes, 888 Capital Group Home Loans, and the Melbourne Car Kennel for all your automotive storage needs.
G'day everybody, my name's Steve Devries and a very warm welcome to the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit for the 2019 edition of PIARC's Island Magic. 29 years we've been coming here, and back in 1991 this event started life as the Phillip Island Victorian Championships, but then became known as Island Magic in 1998 when the Victorian State Circuit Racing Championships came along. But even since 1991, the long and illustrious names on the Mathew Flinders Plate has continued to grow. And club champion Damien Monaro has won this event before. So too famous names such as Wayne Wakefield, Ben Schutz has won this twice, Phil Morris has won it in the very, very early times, and even the only female that's won this event has won it twice too, Leanne Tander doing it in 2004 and 2010. But in the last 7 years, it's been the dominance of Ray Hislop, who's won 5 out of the last 7 Mathew Flinders Plate races, and his absence this weekend gives a 30-car field comprised of Victorian regulars, interstate raiders, and a few people that have got their annual leave passes from their wives hope that their name might become engraved on the perpetual trophy come Sunday afternoon. So with thanks to Yokohama and Traction Tyres, we hope you enjoy the 2019 edition of Island Magic and the battle for the Mathew Flinders Plate. Adam Poole's penalty promotes Victoria's Andrew Butcher to P2. Andrew, it's good to be starting on the front row, but the track conditions, from what you're telling us, are not exactly the same as yesterday.
No, it's a little bit slippery, so the slower speed corners, there's a little bit less grip, so it makes it interesting. A fair bit of wheel spin. The Yokohama blokes will be pretty happy with the tyre wear, I would think.
Yeah, they're going to get a whole bunch more tyre sales over the truck in the next few minutes, I'd imagine.
I'm about to go and get a couple.
Well, do you think the track's going to get better over the course of the weekend, or do you think it's probably going to be like this, at least for today, maybe something different tomorrow?
I wouldn't have a clue. It's just going to be fun. I mean, it's sunny at Phillip Island, it's cool. This is just a great event. It's great fun.
The weather conditions alone, I think, are the reason we're all here at the moment, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, I'm here to beat Mr. Poole, but I think given that he's about 4 seconds up the road from me, I might get swamped off the start and be following him pretty quickly.
Well, do your best, and we'll see what you can do in race 1 and for the rest of the weekend. Looking forward to it, mate.
Thanks very much.
Here with one of our interstate raiders for the weekend, and by virtue of a penalty to Adam Poole, has inherited pole position for race 1 this afternoon, and Scott Cook. Scott, congratulations, mate.
Yeah, by default, but fast in pit lane and fast out on the track, for Poole. Yeah.
You've been here before a couple of times, and you're here in one of the Sylvias. There's two of them here this weekend, but they are slightly different under the bonnet.
Yeah, fairly different. It's a fairly basic Sylvia, this one, with the RB box and SR20, and yeah, it's still pretty good thing, as you can see. And that's the way that we go racing, as cheap as possible, I guess, because it definitely adds up. Yeah.
And I understand you've also currently got the lap record for your class at Tail and Bend as well.
Yeah, I managed to get that at the Shannon's Nationals this year, trying to catch Andy Sarandis. So, managed to get that at 2:04.2 or something. So, yeah, happy to have that. And I'll have it while it's still there, until someone knocks me off.
Well, you're on the pole for race one, and look forward to seeing what you can do across the weekend. Keep it up.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for all the work you guys do. And, look forward to having hopefully a good weekend. Yeah, cheers.
Throughout the year, we've seen a number of drivers return to the improved production fold, and the one we're about to speak to is no different. Believe it or not, he won this race 22 years ago, and he's a two-time winner of the Mathew Flinders Plate in Mario Caligari. Mario, what on earth have you been doing with yourself for the last 22 years, aside from having 9 years out?
Fishing, relaxing. Then I thought about it, and I thought, I've still got it, got the car, and I thought I'd come and do a few more laps in me, so excited to be out again.
Well, we're excited to see you out here again, and this is actually the same car that you won your first one back in 1997 with. Back then it was known as the club cars, and then you did it again in 05 with improved production with the same car too.
Correct, Steve. Thank you for reminding me how old I am. No, it's been tremendous. I'm glad to be back and to do a full season next year. So looking forward to it. Into the inner sanctum.
We're looking forward to seeing you back out there. And you've obviously done a little bit of work to the car to get it up to a more sort of suitable standard for modern times.
We've done a lot of work to it. New tyre technology, so we've drifted all that with the suspension, the manifold, the engine. Bill Schutz has helped me out a fair bit there, so I'd like to thank him. My brother-in-law Ross, he's certainly had done the hard yards and the midnight oil with me to get here and to get back out there next year. So all forward. So I've just learned to pedal a little bit better, that's all.
I was going to say, what's it been like after getting back in the seat after 9 years?
Tremendous, mate. I'm excited. I feel like a little boy again. Bring it on. We're here with another debutant into the category this year. Looking forward to seeing what he can do for the rest of the weekend, but also coming into next year with his ex-saloon car in Matt Yeager. Matt, how'd your first competitive hit-out go today?
Probably not as well as we'd like to, Steve. We're having some electronic issues that are preventing us using full throttle in the car, so we're not getting as much power as we'd like. So we are lagging a long way behind where we'd really like to be speed-wise. Silver lining to that, of course, it's encouraging me to really think about conserving momentum, keeping corner speeds up and that sort of thing. But it does mean that we're not as fast as we like to be. So we're disappointed with that, but we're still out there touring around, so happy with that.
Well, I understand you originally thought it might have been an engine gremlin, and one of the other guys in the category, in Stuart did, and has helped you out with an engine as well. Another one of the EA Falcon ex-saloon car drivers.
Yes, this is the X2 Eden engine that's in this car. We had entered this car in the state round in September, and it blew up then. So we bought the X2 Eden engine, which is in it now, and it's actually probably performing better than the rest of the car, actually. So it's one little sunny spot in the entire thing. But we've been pretty well looked after with that. He's really looked after us there. So it's got us back on the track.
We're looking forward to seeing what you can do next year. Plan to be running around with the Team Taxi guys and Stewie somewhere in the mid-pack next year?
Absolutely, that's what we are looking forward to. This will get an upgrade, whether it's to a Barra engine or I'm really thinking I might like to put a V8 in it and run it as an EB. Either way, yes, we're looking to really mix it up in the pack there. It's a fantastic field. It doesn't matter where you are, it seems you've got someone to race with, and that's one of the things that's really attractive about IP. So, we're super looking forward to that, yes.
It's only a small field of two under 2 litre cars here this weekend. We've got both drivers now in Kevin Coulson and Paul Javots. Kevin, how'd you see your race panning out? And not only that, how's your season been to date?
I did 2 rounds, had issues every time, so I gave it a bit of a break. I think Paul did as well. We both missed the last 2 rounds. And I finally found some reliability. I was hoping to have no issues at all coming into this weekend, but my LSD isn't working, so I'm sort of trying to fight the car from pushing wide at all the high-speed corners, which isn't easy. I can't catch Paul, which is even worse, but apart from that, I'm just glad to be out there circulating, which is good.
No, glad to hear. And Paul, you've had a pretty torrid year in terms of every time I think I say something about you on the commentary, I feel like I curse you, because inevitably something in the engine department seems to break, doesn't it?
That's right, I've had such a bad season. I'm just happy that my car's running and I'm out here. Unfortunately, there's only us 2 under 2 litres here, so it is fun. I had great fun with Rolf Mammers out there, and we were neck and neck running around the track, so it was a really good day so far.
Yeah, well, both of you seem to be mixing it up with a number of cars around you in the absence of a lot of 2 litre cars. What's it like battling with some of those guys that are not in the same class as you, but also, you can go toe-to-toe with on a regular basis?
Yeah, it's good. We got every car's different. Some go better in straight lines, some go around corners better, some stop better. So it's good being able to have a bit of fun with all the other cars for once. So,
yeah, certainly like us little unders, our cars definitely do well in our cornering and everything. So it's good to be right up there with the bigger cars and be able to hassle them going around the corners. So I really enjoy that.
Here with another one of the interstate competitors for this weekend, and Drew Lawrence. Drew, you've had a bit of a mixed result this weekend. You had to start from the back in that last race.
Yeah, that was certainly possibly a little bit of redemption for race one. We did ourselves a little bit of a mischief there, had a bad start and turned ourselves around there in MG and unfortunately caused a safety car, and it was a pretty lonely race from there on in. So a good run from the back then, lots of fun and a nice clean run with... I don't know where we end up finishing, but up the front somewhere. So hopefully we start the final somewhere a bit closer to the front and see how we go. So.
Yeah, an 8th place finish is certainly nothing to be frowned upon. Now, you're one of about 2 or 3 guys this weekend on their way home from Nationals in Tasmania last weekend.
Yeah, it's been quite a big journey, I guess, for a lot of us. Tasmania was brilliant. Excellent meeting. Run down there by the Hobart Sporting Car Club and amazing facility. The track is awesome. You don't get any appreciation for how good it actually is and the elevation change and the banking. And look, I guess putting my president's hat on, I'm sort of... we're going to have our Nationals in 2020 in Queensland at Morgan Park on first weekend in October, and hoping to get a lot of interstate competitors back up for that, so it should be good.
And coincidentally, the last time we had Nationals here at Phillip Island was 2016 with a record 123 cars, and it was on that very weekend that all 4 classes of improved production set the lap records, and they've never been bested since. Time for a little chat with our Improved Production Victoria Club President, Gary McKay. Gary, you've had a bit of limited running this year, up to Darwin and a couple of rounds here in Victoria, but you're here this weekend and got the old girl out for another run.
Yeah, it's been first time on E85, so there's been a few changes to the car, and but yeah, it's going really well. We've got some pretty stiff competition down this year, this Island Magic, with a few of the interstaters here, so it's fantastic to have them here, and it's been a good field.
We've had a couple of interstaters make some appearances throughout the year as well, and they certainly have been quick. Talk to us about this season in Hull. We've had quite a lot of good racing, some close racing, but Luke ran away with it at the end of the day, and a good fight in under 2 litres right to the very end.
Yeah, look, it's been a fantastic year. I mean, when you get 30 plus entries for every round, and sometimes earlier in the year we had oversubscribed grids and so forth. I mean, we can't be any happier than the way it's all gone. So yeah, fantastic year. Bring on 2020.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to that. Good to see that Melbourne Car Kennel came on halfway through the year, pick up the sponsorship for the windscreen banner, and it looks like all the sponsors are set to continue next year as well.
Yeah, well, that's yet to be confirmed. We'll have a season launch next year that will confirm our sponsors for next year. And but yeah, it certainly has been fantastic from all our sponsors. So Yokohama, big thanks to them. But that's a national sponsorship deal, obviously. But with Newline Homes, it'll actually be Rick and Julie's 10th year next year. So we owe the club dearly to the two of them for Newline Homes. Obviously with 888 Finance. Cam McKinnon came on board at the start of the year and who's been a great, been fantastic for the club also. DLL Photography and Design, how could we wouldn't have a website if we didn't have Dave operating that, so he's been fantastic. And yes, with Melbourne Car Kennel, it's been fantastic having him on board. We were a bit stuck for a naming rights sponsor and he jumped on board for the last few rounds, and it's been fantastic to have him on board.
Got a driver here that's got their annual leave pass from their wife for the day here at Phillip Island, or for the weekend at Phillip Island rather, in Kevin Stoopman. Kevin, you've wheeled the Mitsubishi Evo out for its annual appearance. 2 good second places, but she's got a couple of mechanical dramas to contend with.
Yeah, it's pretty loose in the gearbox is probably the best way to say it. I missed gears probably 4 or 5 times throughout that race and luckily didn't slot them the wrong way, otherwise I'd have nothing left. But before I do that, I'm thinking that we might be done for the weekend.
So not going to contest race 3 at this stage?
No, I don't think so. I've had a ball, but it's probably going to be a very expensive race if I do the last one. So truly, there's some fast cars behind me, so I think second's as best I'm going to get. So it might be a good time to pack it up.
And you also had a bit of a run up at Darwin along with Rob Braun and Gary McKay earlier this year as well. Fast becoming an annual pilgrimage, that.
Yeah, I've done, I think, 5 of the last 6 Darwins in different cars. Certainly the Evo, a couple of times in the Subaru and a couple of times in the HQ. So, yeah, Darwin, it's a hoot, always is. It's hard to get an entry up there because obviously everyone wants to race, but I had some good scraps with Brawny and he's one of the gentleman drivers on the racetrack, so he's always good fun to be racing side by side with, so great fun.
Third place in the Mathew Flinders Plate race this afternoon, Drew Lawrence from Queensland. Drew, been a bit of a mixed weekend for you, but not bad for a borrowed car to take home some silverware.
Look, indeed, completely didn't expect to be here, to be honest, and we're just getting better and better all weekend. I guess that was a really interesting race. I've got to say straight away, big commiserations to Lordy. Bombed down the inside of him there and made a mistake, and he was very kind and gave me room, and we had a slight touch, and I really feel like he should be up here, so it's a bit bittersweet, but it's racing and I'll go and buy him a beer soon. But look, yeah, amazing weekend, really happy to be here, and I've got to take the opportunity to thank my brother. He's let me in the car now for 2 weekends, the Nationals and now, and it's been faultless and gradually, and I think we nearly got there this afternoon, so thank you very much to him and the family and everyone that helps. Thank you.
Second place in the Mathew Flinders Plate race this weekend is Lachlan McBride from New South Wales. Lockie, we saw you first up at Winton and you were pretty handy up there. And good successful trip down south.
Yeah, exactly. It's always great when we come down here. Phillip Island's an amazing track. Always an amazing event put on by PIARC down here for Island Magic. So it's one I'd like to try and get to every year, that's for sure. Just like to thank my sponsors, BMs and Mega Life Batteries. They've been great to me. Trelaw Roses as well for a few years now. The category sponsors as well in Yokohama Traction Tyres. You know, they look after us every year, every event. They do whatever we ask, you know, whether we want tyres turned, anything, they're fantastic for that. Newline Homes, DLL Photography, and Melbourne Car Kennel as well for coming on this year. It's a fantastic event, and yeah, I'll be back next year for sure.
First place in the Mathew Flinders Plate this weekend, Andrew Butcher from Victoria. Andrew, you had a third last year, second the year before. You finally got the position number 1.
Yep, it was look, this is a great event. I love this event, and it's sort of a dream to win it. Certainly didn't expect to come here this weekend with this field.
Definitely not. And a big thanks to your sponsors as well, because they keep your car going and you keep representing not only yourself but the Epilepsy Foundation quite well. Even though they're not a sponsor, you really, truly love to get out and show everybody that.
Yeah, it personally affects me, epilepsy. My daughter has a very nasty genetic version of epilepsy, so I love the foundation. They do great work, and I'm very happy to support it. And that's the great thing about car racing, is you can get some of those great sponsors out on your cars.
Well, that's a wrap for Island Magic 2019 and the Mathew Flinders Plate. Our thanks to Yokohama and Traction Tyre Centre for their continuing sponsorship of the Mathew Flinders Plate race here at the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit, and another great event put on by the Phillip Island Auto Racing Club. To Victorian Improved Production members, don't forget to keep an eye out for the season launch coming hopefully in early February 2020, and the first race of the season around mid-February at Sandown International Motor Raceway. Until then, please drive safely over the Christmas break, and we'll see you in 2020. Bye for now.